virus from his computer.
Oh, yeah, all right.
It's just fine. Welcome back. I don't know if anybody can hear us yet or what's going on, but welcome to, was this part 5 of Hades now?
Or fuck you yourself, Dad.
Yeah, part 5 of Fuck You, Dad.
Yeah.
That's what the game really should be called. I am 7 already. Hey, Irish Wake, welcome back.
I'm just saying, maybe if you just, I don't know, had all
Well, and Michael, welcome back. It's been a week.
Yes, yeah, it's good to be back. I fucking love this game.
Introduce everybody in the chat to another one of the co-hosts. Like I said, there's like 8 rotating people, so it's just going to keep, pretty much every one of these streams is just going to keep rotating, so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I bother with you, honestly.
So last time we got all the way to Hades.
We got to Hades.
Boss at the end.
Yeah. It's always good when characters like Thanatos and Hypnos talk.
Yeah.
Because you, at least even within this Greek world where everything has sex with everything else.
That is what defines the Greek world.
Yeah, at least for the most part, you have a good sense that 2 brothers aren't going to fuck each other. Although even then in Greek mythology, not always is that going to discount
most of the gods are related. All of them are related to each other. So there's definitely some like gross incestuous.
But,
I mean, maybe not amongst like.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. Any of the gods that have sex it is incest. But
just any time.
Despite all the like hinting at homoeroticism that there is within ancient Greek myth, some of it is just straight up. But I mean, I don't think there's really myths about like Poseidon and Hades and Zeus fucking each other. Not that I know of.
Well, I'm sure someone has written that on the internet relatively recently. I mean,
well, there are probably ancient Greek fan fiction writers, but even then,
how do we know how much of the Greek mythology that we know today is
not the fan fiction of the Greek mythology world? That's true.
Irish Wake, Poseidon, Hades, Zeus fanfic confirmed. I mean, there's no way that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's no way it doesn't exist.
I mean, I'm sure at some point, even in ancient history, some dude was like, yeah, but I bet
3 gods, 1 cup. Gross, Jesus Christ.
I think we said that joke last time too. We said 2 gods, 1 cup at the time, but it keeps growing every time.
Just 4 gods, 1 cup. All right.
I mean, it's in the way of Greek tradition to have an orgy, every couple of minutes.
Every couple of minutes. Sorry, it's a 10 again already. Entire Greek pantheon, 1 cup. That's basically. That's the logical conclusion.
Yeah.
Hey, Psychotic Jules, how you doing? Welcome to the stream.
That's a cool name.
I think I believe this is the first time you've been in here, if I'm not mistaken. Welcome to Rated M for Immaturity.
No need. The dog never gets dragged into this, Zagreus. I don't know if you've played this game yet, Zagreus. But...
Yeah, Zagreus, come on, you're the main character. Fuck you, Dad. I'm telling you, this should have been the name of this game.
Why haven't you buy me a new mom already?
Do you know anything about a softly-spoken gentle being under the guise of chaos? They approached me recently and offered me a boon of sorts.
They are my father.
Primordial chaos. Indeed, I know them well. They must have taken interest in.
Well, welcome, Jules. Welcome.
I would advise
happy to have you here.
Their offerings, though know that chaos, whilst a trickster, is not a deceiver.
That's a cool line. I like that.
Yeah.
I do love the writing in this game. The dialogue and shit is pretty consistently great.
Yeah, I mean, for being all kind of scenario-based dialogue, all of it's interesting. You know?
Right. Alright, let's see.
I don't know if you talked to Dusa there. I don't know if you can. Let's see if you can.
Hey, yeah.
hope you're having a nice day. Even though you don't want to live here anymore, Your Highness.
She's just
Well, if you notice the little hearts that flutter around her every time you begin talking to her.
She's kind of in love with us. It's like a fangirl crush.
Kind of.
Like super nerd type thing.
I mean, yes. I mean,
she's like.
Well, it's weird from what
Medusa writing fan fiction about us.
Right. From what I remember of my playthrough, it's like Dusa's really shy every time she talks to you, and the hearts, and it, yeah, she is. But then, so it seems like clearly she's in love with you. But then I feel like the one point in the game where you broach dialogue with her, like, you know, I guess if you wanted to like go on a date or something, I feel like Dusa's like, then oh no, I would never want that with you. It's like she's been gaslighting you the whole time or something.
Kind of the boss's kid type thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I always thought that was weird. Deuce is just immediately like, no, I would never date you. You know, it's Zagreus.
After like all these
signals, like very obvious signals.
Like she just levitates away after each talk, like Poochie returning to his home planet.
Yeah,
like, ooh, Athena right away.
Oh hell yeah! Get that dash if you can. Oh, you're doing the fist again?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not. I got the furthest so far with it. So.
You love fisting.
I do.
I don't know what you love more, fisting or getting fisted, but you know.
I mean, it's hard to decide. Even though this is epic, you think the dash is probably still the best one?
I mean, I always typically go with the dash when it's presented to me. It's just it's to me the most helpful dash, but it's always up to you, obviously, when you're playing. Like, yeah, to get an epic rank, anything is...
Sure.
Although, since you have the boon still, if you get another Athena chance, you might get another epic rank anyways.
Sure. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I do love these fucking boxing glove weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so Michael, I'm just curious about what your thoughts are. I feel like I've talked about it on the stream yesterday. I mean, I don't mind reiterating some of my thoughts, but you got to see all the stuff from the PlayStation Showcase for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Today, I was just curious, if anything, like in particular, you wanted to talk about that like stood out to you the most, or?
Well, obviously, the God of War Ragnarok. Is
right. I figured that'd be,
that it was. Obviously, they saved best for last on that one.
Yeah, totally.
Is it probably PlayStation's most famous franchise? Like
it's up there.
First party.
It's up there. I mean, I think it's. I mean,
there are a few, obviously, but
The Last of Us is pretty damn big.
Right.
God of War, Uncharted's pretty big. I guess it also depends on like what era you're talking about too.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I personally missed The Last of Us craze a little bit. Like, I mean, they are good games. I've seen you play them, but but you know, of course, I was around for God of War. And
right. I mean, it's definitely one of the biggest ones of the PS2 era, and I do think the resurgence it's made is kind of huge.
Yeah,
I would say that once the sequel comes out, depending on how well, if that does as well or better than the last one, then I'd say like maybe that is their most famous one.
Sure.
But
because like, I mean, one of the reasons like I fell in love with Hades is because of how in love with God of War series I was. You know?
I mean, it's that return to Greek mythology again.
Yeah, like as much as I love that they're delving into the other pantheons and stuff, it's just, you know, Greek is usually the kind of mythos that most people fall in love with first.
I do feel like, to some degree, that's because it's the one that is showcased most in like pop culture. And I wonder, I mean, that might still be true if like there was more of everything else, but I do wonder how different, that would be.
If there was equal representation of all the mythologies.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to just see Egyptian done just more in general.
Right.
Granted, God of War, we know God of War is going to get to it.
Yeah. Right.
I want to see all those fucking 10-foot tall animal head gods, man, walking around. Like, that's...
True.
I think I don't know, man. I just, like, no one almost ever does Egyptian right.
Well, Egyptian mythology, like, another reason why I think Greek mythology is so popular is, like, all of its stories are very... You can tell what's going on the surface of a Greek myth. Like,
really easily, yeah.
The drama is, like, front forward facing,
Right.
And whereas, like, Egyptian myth, I feel like you have to, sometimes it's a little more abstract.
That's
you
true.
have to read into it for the message a little bit more, I guess.
I'd say definitely agree with that.
And it's a thing where, like, I'm sure the Egyptians did have a sense of, like, playing out their myths, and certainly with their like religious functions they did, but you know, like the Greeks
like when,
obviously had such a sense of drama and theater.
Sure.
Like
well,
that they made their myths into drama, into plays you could watch, you know. And
right.
I don't know if that was as present in the, you know, ancient Egyptian world.
Right. Well, you know, I feel like, I feel like there's more of Egyptian mythology may have been lost to time, too.
Right.
Like, there might be more stories and more details that people just are generally less aware of, perhaps, just due to a loss of historical record, maybe.
Yeah. And I listened to a mythology video the other day that was talking about Loki and in Norse myth, and what's interesting with Loki is that there is very little ritual performed around Loki at all. Like, there's very little evidence of Loki's existence outside of, like, the prose Edda.
Which one of these do you think?
I
don't have a strike yet.
Let's see. Get her charm. Because do you see how it says 2,500 damage?
Oh, goddamn, yeah, right. Let's definitely do that.
Yeah, that is going to fuck some bosses up, I promise you.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, outside of those, like, two prominent kind of Norse texts, you know, one of which is the prose Edda, that's where we know a lot of the Norse myths from.
Right.
But outside of that, like, but with other gods, we have proof of, like, you know, statues and other archaeological kind of finds, temples devoted to.
That was actually one of the most interesting things that I read about, like, because I have the God of War, the most recent God of War art book, actually, and this is one of the most interesting things they talk about, is, like, they literally would have to design entire, like, an entire temple in that game based off of, like, a single piece of jewelry, because there just isn't as much, like, his stuff left over from the like really ancient period they were they're trying to set things in. They just literally didn't.
Might as well go epic there.
What's that? I'm sorry.
You might as well go epic there.
Do the epic one. Alright, cool. But they literally don't have as much, like, clear historical record of, like, architecture and kind of just the basic pieces of society or the world. So they had to really kind of create a lot of that stuff in the production of the game. And again, they based, you know, like, a whole temple off of a single little, like, bracelet that they found from back then, because there's so little to go off of. Whereas with Greek, I mean, you have a very good idea of what the Greek world, I think, really looked like, I think, you know? So you said there's a lot of temples and relics that were originally made from wood.
Yeah.
But fall apart, so we have no idea what they were like exactly.
That's true, yeah. But yeah, the article made this point, and then obviously, like, the days of the week, or Odin and Thor, obviously we're given a lot of attention. But Loki, for being supposedly such a major god, for his representation in the myths, how much there is of him in the myths, there's, like, there would be very little outside of that to have.
Do you think that's because he's discovered that he was a god?
No, because, I mean, it's like, you know, even when it comes to the giant stuff, they're like families that marry into each other. The Vanir gods, you know, and the Aesir gods and the giants, they all breed into each other.
Right,
you know?
No, totally.
So, you know, I don't think it's a case of that. I mean, basically the point the article was making was that Loki might not have been, so he might have been more of a minor god.
Oh, sure.
Even back then, because they said it could be a case where it's like he could be such a feared god, but if you even go off the myths, a lot of the earlier myths, he's more of the trickster, he's more helping out the Greek, or the Norse gods in a lot of those situations, you know. It's not till, you know, Ragnarok that he becomes a total son of a bitch and, you know, that they have to kill him. And, yeah, so so some people were like, oh, is he like a devil figure? Like, you know, you wouldn't worship the devil necessarily. But
Can I not talk to you?
Obviously, with like Satanists today, we know that's people will worship anything. Yeah, so
right. Ironically, the complete opposite character arc of MCU Loki. Yeah, that's true.
That is very true.
That is not the type of
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. I mean,
and by the Loki TV series, he is such a good guy that like.
Yeah, like it did seem like before. I mean, I won't give any. I don't want to get like too spoilery, but it did seem like, if nothing else, because I know Ulysses hasn't seen it, but
sure. Yeah.
But just the idea that like, oh, we're going back to the first Avengers Loki. Like, he was more of a villain then. I wonder if this will be more of a villain character. And then he's like immediately like even more of a good guy almost within the first like couple episodes, even more than he was when in Infinity War.
I feel like after the third episode, because like somewhere within the third episode, you get to just know Loki more, which is the thing. Which is one of the reasons was the third episode is probably my favorite episode of that first season. But then once you get to know him, they're like, well, you know this guy now. You know he'd never do anything bad or some shit. Right. It's just like all of a sudden he's just a goody two-shoes for the rest of it. And I wasn't super into that. I mean, can you leave me a little bit of his deceitful nature intact?
Sure. You know? Oh, shit. Alright, what's the button to do the call?
Oh, R2, but you want to be facing... Okay, instead you use that on a mid. I should have...
Oh, I thought that was one of the ones where you run around. My bad.
Oh, no, that's fine. It was kind of like a Peter Doctor Strange situation where you headed right into it, and I didn't quite explain to you the particulars of what you were getting into.
Can you change all of reality so that no one knows my identity? Yeah, man, like totally.
Let's not even talk about it. Let's just do it.
Yeah, fuck Wong. He doesn't want us to, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway.
Talking is for losers. You know that's never gotten Rome built in a day. Or what?
Talking didn't build Rome.
That is some Dick Doctor Strange shit in that Spider-Man trailer.
Well, this is probably going to be a fairly short run.
Oh, well.
That was a sloppy fight even for you, Red Blood.
Yeah, seriously, I was...
she talks the most trash, Electo, see? Alright, thank you.
Alright. Can everybody still hear us? I just did a little microphone headset switch just to make sure that we're still good.
And talking to Hypno.
She doesn't kill anyone. She likes keeping them alive. For quite a
cool. Sweet. Thanks, Ulysses.
Doesn't kill them off. I guess so.
You asked, I trained him, Master. Prepare him for life's labors. You ordered it. Now you admonish me.
Love big words like admonish, man.
Is that big of a word? I mean,
well, for some Americans, it might be. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I feel like "the" is a big word for Americans.
Come on.
And I'm American, so I can say that.
I like my articles. I'm fine with my articles. Right?
I shall be giving it some thought. Until then, you just watch that hole.
Considering the education system in this country, like... Apple's probably a big word.
Oh, that was cool. I've never noticed the like sprites and the character animation just kind of disappear, like they were summoned, but now they've been banished away in a portal. That's cool.
Well, Thanatos did that just before the last run.
Well, Thanatos always does it, but I guess I've never noticed anybody else do it.
Huh, okay.
Maybe you could stay away from him, or I could tell him you're not here.
That's quite all right, do say. I'm not afraid of him, and neither should you be. You're the best help he's ever found.
Just doing my job here, Prince.
Yeah, she does. She seems nervous, like she's into.
She just splooged from her forehead.
Oh God, it's an awful way to describe it. Oh my God, is Cerberus Employee of the Month now?
Yeah, Cerberus does end up on that VIP board quite a bit.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what he does to do that, but...
I mean, he is a good boy.
I mean, I guess within myth he tears shit apart a lot, but we never see that side of him in this game.
I mean, yeah, in this game, Cerberus has been nothing but just a friendly, happy dog.
He's been like Pepper, your dog, just right now.
Yeah, just like sleeping. I'm gonna bother my cat. Poke, 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 poke. Oh man.
So when father arrived,
Oh, that was a good bit of little story they kind of just talked about there.
If you want to reiterate it, you can.
I thought his presence merely a cruel trick of fate. But he worked diligently from the start. Soon there was order where once there was none. I fashioned this house for him, and I maintain it still. We remain in partnership, in interdependency.
Interdependency, that's a
he's
good
never
word.
taken advantage of you, of your generosity.
No, child. He has not. He can be
I mean, he almost seems like slightly frightened of Nyx.
Yeah, well, and a lot of gods that, as a primordial, they were a little
Right, I
afraid
mean,
of.
they should be, yeah.
It is more complicated than my own.
So the gist of what she explained was like that when Hades got basically sent down into Hades,
Right.
she was like the only one there, like
Right, right.
kind of the mother of this realm in some ways, although she wasn't quite. But so she just kind of they made a sort of pact to run the underworld together.
Whoa, hey, I just thought I'd check the news and see if there's anything interesting we could talk about, and I have some kind of sad news.
Not
wow.
more.
Norm Macdonald died.
What? Norm Macdonald? No shit.
He's 61, I guess. He dies after a 9-year battle of cancer.
Oh, that sucks.
Wow,
I fucking love Norm Macdonald.
that really came out of nowhere.
Yeah, for Michael Kenneth Williams, now Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, Michael Kenneth Williams was only like a week ago.
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, these celebrity deaths tend to follow each other like that.
The rule of threes, man.
There'll be, yeah.
So, I mean, as much as like people throw that around as a joke, but like sometimes it feels like that's like actually really true.
Yeah.
Because Michael Kenneth Williams, Norm Macdonald, and Ed Asner just the like last week too.
Oh sure. Shit. Damn it. Oh, maybe I can get a key. I would like a key very much.
Huh. Well, that's sad. I'm not trying to like bring the whole show down, but like,
Yeah, well,
it's very unfortunate
oh,
that.
fuck yes. All right, I'm buying that gun.
Sweet, get the gun, do it.
The most ancient Greek of weapons. Let's see.
Let's try it. Exegriff, the ring of adamant. Annihilate all who oppose me.
Boom, 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 boom.
Also, I have no idea if it does it get that NRA member.
Yes.
Christ.
Oh, that's right.
All right, got NRA membership in the Greek underworld.
All right.
A new addition to the old collection.
Well,
I entered this. The gun was the first one I finished with. Oh yeah, that was the first one. That was the first time you beat Hades was using the gun. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. A blessing, cosmic.
Yeah, thanks for
King.
hanging out, Nonin. Hope you're having a good day too.
I will try the cosmic egg for
And then I believe actually, so I don't have it on like the normal schedule just because I don't have it as like a every week thing. But hey, anybody that's hanging out and watching, there will be a slightly less scheduled stream around 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow evening. No Name 20 is going to be joining me, and we're going to be playing the platformer kind of artsy side scroller game Gree. So if you're into like more indie kind of artsy games, that might be up your alley. But I has a really nice special upgrade. Nice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's pretty cool. It's funny because when we listened to the Zero Punctuation review, the
Right.
Yahtzee review, he like ragged on the gun, being like,
Right.
I don't like it, which I mean, I don't know. You made it sound like it was pretty awesome. You and No Name are making it sound like the gun.
Oh yeah.
Pretty awesome
I mean, to me,
weapon,
the gun and the fists are like the funnest weapons in any typical run through to use. Like, this isn't even my favorite form of the gun, but...
Right, because there's like all the different versions or whatever.
Mm.
But I have no confidence whatsoever that I'm going to win. But I did enter a sweepstakes, apparently, and especially I did this because the Xbox Series X is so hard to find. I mean, I don't have like the spare money to drop on another new console
right.
anyway.
Right.
But I did enter a sweepstakes to win one, and it's like a solid red Xbox with the 10 rings sigil.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't have any I'm not expecting to actually win that at all, but it would be cool.
Oh, very. Hell yeah.
That would be cool.
I'd like it. I got the PS4 just because it was the Batman themed one.
Yeah, so. Right. I mean, and I wasn't even I need a themed Xbox Series X. I wasn't really thinking about that. I just was.
Right. Well, it is cool looking.
If I could win one, I mean, why not?
Right.
It's free anyway.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Some of the special edition consoles can be pretty cool. Like I've got the R2D2 Xbox 360. It makes all of the little. I can't do those noises.
I can't.
The only one I can do is when he screams in the prequels. Oh
yeah.
That one.
It is weird that R2D2 screamed as a robot.
Constantly in the prequels anyway. He didn't do it so much in like all that much in the. Man, R2D2 is a fucking asshole though.
Yeah, right.
Can you believe that throughout the original trilogy...
He could fly for 6 movies?
Yeah, he can fly for all of those...
Well, I guess he can fly technically for 9 movies, but he never does.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he flies in the prequels, but then he doesn't fly in any of the other 6 movies, right? So, like, he's just kind of being a piece of shit that can help out, like, way more.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I mean... Yeah, it's weird that they would think that maybe... R2-D2 being able to fly and do a bunch of shit would be like some Ex Machinas and stuff. But they certainly have some Ex Machinas in those new sequels anyways. And
plus and the prequels.
Yeah, and plus it would give, like, to know that he can do that, it's like, okay, now let's do something cool with it in these new movies.
Right.
You know, which they never did or thought to do.
No, they didn't.
They didn't think to do...
Star Wars doing something cool? What are you talking about?
That hasn't happened for... Well, I guess Mandalorian or whatever, but...
I
haven't actually watched all of Mandalorian
I
yet.
like parts of the Mandalorian, but I think it's a really mix
but
for me.
Yeah.
Like, I think parts of it are legitimately cool, and but I also think he also knew the whole prequel plot the whole time and never told anyone.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to remember. Does he get his memory wiped though in the third movie?
No, just C-3PO.
Just C-3PO.
So R2-D2 could communicate to C-3PO that all this has happened, and then he could tell them, but he never does.
Wow, R2-D2 really is an asshole. Like, is R2-D2 the true villain of the Star Wars franchise?
Him or Jar Jar.
Yeah, that's true. Fucking ugh. I didn't get me started on that Roger Rabbit from hell.
I like that's a cool piece of dialogue from Poseidon. Let's see. Title dash. I always like to save the dash for Athena, but since it's epic, I'll get it.
I suppose might as well.
Wretches of Tartarus are sealed away even from other condemned souls. Their only visitors, those fool enough to attend. Let's do this again sometime.
Keys, just for now.
Yeah, we need more keys for the mirror.
Yes.
Unlock. Because once you have enough keys for the mirror, I'm assuming that just unlock then like another round of
upgrades. Yeah, you'll be able to upgrade like a mother. They will definitely help when we can.
Because eventually, I mean, you just get like you do eventually get very powerful, right? Like even just to start out with because of that stuff.
Yeah, but. Yeah, the thing I like about it is even though the game becomes easier, it never becomes like just super easy.
Yeah, that is a good thing. That is a good thing.
Let's see, coin. Let's get some coin from Sisyphus.
Now you be careful out there, Highness. The kindly Megara is out for blood.
Oh, is she the one we're fighting this time?
About the last exchange between the two.
Yeah, perhaps from the way he's talking.
Sisyphus. So, Michael, you also just watched the movie *Malignant* too, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
You want to give any thoughts on that?
Well,
I was just out of curiosity. I mean,
we
some of the
spoilers,
but
right. Some of the things I told you, I would leave it at. But
Sure.
I mean, what I'll say for people that know nothing about the movie on HBO Max, *Malignant*, right? Or you can go see it in theaters. But on HBO Max, if you know nothing about it, continue to know nothing about it and go see it, because it's a film directed by James Wan, so you would be correct to assume that it's a horror movie. And like the first act of the movie, I guess I would say, leads you to believe it's a ghost film. And but a lot of my favorite kind of ghost movies that are just kind of weird and go off script. Is kind of like, if anybody seen The Boy, that's a situation where it seems like it's a ghost a lot of the movie, and then it is not. This situation also seems clearly like a ghost for the first act, and then what it is revealed to be becomes like a John Wick action movie halfway through. So anybody who that sounds vaguely interesting to, definitely give it a watch. But
especially if you have HBO Max anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free, so like,
right.
I haven't watched it, but I will. I'll check it out.
And I'm not saying like it's a great or even good movie, but fucking watch it, because if you like ridiculous, almost so bad they're good kind of movies,
right.
You'll I think
like
people would love this. If
you've ever been a fan of The Wicker Man,
or most Nicolas Cage movies,
or most Nicolas Cage movies,
yeah, that's definitely true. Shit. The one thing confusing about the title dash is I can't tell when Poseidon's water is coming after me, or if that's my water, you know.
Yeah, fair. Well, and also like Nadia watched *Malignant* at her parents the other day.
Really?
And it was like angry that she spent time watching that movie.
Well, like I said, I was about to turn it off at a certain point, but then once it revealed that more was going on in the plot, I'm like, well, I'm curious to see where this goes, and thank God.
But it was like in a this is so ridiculous that it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Kind of a sense, yeah.
Let's see, flood shots.
Ocean's Bounty.
I don't really know what that is.
Now, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
As you go through the game and you unlock more of the stuff, or no name if you're in there, or Tammy if you're in there hanging out, I'm not sure. But do you start to get more slots for the boons at any point? Like, is that like you got the slots you have are like the slots, and you're not going to get like more slots?
Do you mean of the slots offered to you?
Yeah, like you have all the boons, but like do you get like more open slots to put boons into at any point?
Oh, well, see,
it was like a set map.
We actually honestly haven't gotten a lot of boons in any of our runs yet, but if you look on the side, that will grow out quite a bit.
That will grow out. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just really curious about it.
Yeah, that is not the maximum amount that you can have.
Because those two extra ones that kind of on the top of the side, on the top, next to the bigger ones, I don't think those were there before, right? Like those were not there when we started the game. Like did we unlock those extra slots?
The one on the top. Well, and also if you see it says +2 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, let's see, heart or money, or shopping.
We're doing pretty good on health, to be honest. But you could get a maximum health increase, so.
Right. Yeah, let's get some more boons. If we can. Let's see. he's like Lurch.
Oh, man.
I wonder if people still know who the fuck Lurch is. Let's see.
Yeah, people in the chat, do you know who that is? I'm out of curiosity. Is that a dated reference now?
I don't like some of the newer references I hear, to be honest, that sometimes where I just hear people randomly at like my college that I go to. Somebody said,
just like, is it because you just don't know what the fuck they're talking about, or?
Well, yeah, like just for instance, I wrote this thing down that I heard.
Hey, Adam's Family just recently had an animated movie, didn't it? Yeah, I didn't think it was very good. I'll be honest.
They're making a second one.
I know, and the second one is already a road trip, which is usually like after like 6 movies and you don't know what else to do, you do a road trip.
You're right.
And this is just the second one is a road trip.
All right, this girl said his vibe is straight fluid.
What the fuck does that mean? Got a couple reboots. Yeah, they've definitely had a few. I mean, there's the original, there's the 90s movies, there's the current, newest, like, animated iteration.
Do you know what you have? What are your customary weapons?
The Addams Family was either the 50s or I think it was the 60s, though.
Yeah, I want to say 60s. You know, I'll just look it up.
I'm pretty sure it's the 60s.
Michael's playing right now.
It was them and the Munsters. You know, we're in the exact same decade, so
yeah. Well, and then there's
it might have started in the 50s and gone into the 60s.
To be fair, though, the original Addams Family was a comic strip, too.
Oh, well, that's true. Oh, yeah, that is the OG.
That's the original Addams Family. And then the 1964. So there's the TV show, the TV series ran from 1964 to 1966. Let me check out when did the comic strip come out? Let me see. Come on, where'd you start? Yeah, they were literally one panel comic. They were literally a single image. It was a single little panel.
Wow.
Yeah, they weren't even a full comic strip. It was literally a single picture with like a pun or a joke of some kind in it. Let me see here. 1938.
Wow, that dude with the 30s was a good call.
Yeah. So yeah, comic strip was 1938. The TV series was not until 1964. Shit. So there's a solid 30 years before they even tried to make an adaptation of that. Then you got the 90s movies and the like a New Yorker cartoon, but darker. Yeah, just like it. I mean, even I've seen some of the OG Addams Family like comic images, and they are dark.
Yeah,
they are dark. They are. I mean, I don't know if they're as dark as Wilkins coffee commercials, but
true. No.
Is there anybody in the chat that doesn't know about the Wilkins coffee commercials? Because you should really look that up if you haven't heard about that before. They're fucking hilarious.
Let's see.
Jim Henson, before he did the Muppets, it's like in these commercials, you even have like a prototype puppet that like would basically end up becoming Kermit the Frog. Yeah. And they're so dark. Literally every commercial is Kermit like asking another puppet if he wants some of Wilkins coffee, and every time he says no, he murders him. And that's every commercial. Truly, just like, yeah. I wish more commercials were like that. I feel like we don't trust kids to appreciate like slightly darker humor or like slightly darker things sometimes. Now, sometimes we do. Sometimes good kid stuff still gets made. But like, let me take the Addams Family as an example, right? That first animated movie. Did you ever watch that, Michael?
Yeah.
So I did. I was forced to sit through it because I know some kids, and they were happy. So whatever. I wasn't
as long as it makes the kids happy.
But like, that movie dumbs down the Addams Family so much from like what it could be, and I just don't think you have to dumb things down for kids. Like, I don't know if anybody saw the animated movie Wolf Walkers.
Well, that's like a whole... Like, Addams Family is like piped out by a studio system, and Wolf Walkers is made by people that want to make art.
Right? Yeah, that's totally true.
One is a product.
Even a studio system could just not aim for, mindlessness.
Have you heard of a studio system?
I know, but it's not always though. They don't. It's not everything that comes out.
No, Sid, when a studio system makes something good, it's by accident. I think
you're not wrong.
I think you know enough about movies to know that.
You're not wrong. I don't know. I don't know. I just see these things and I'm like, I see all the ways that this could so easily be made better.
Like this game, Hades, they didn't start making this until they had a genuinely good idea for it and what it was going to be.
Well, even after it, because Hades actually was on early access on Steam for like a solid year, maybe 2 years or something like that. And they straight up we're like basically like looking at how every person that played it on early access like would do, and they would like I think Tim said like every week basically rebalance the enemies, rebalance the boons, rebalance literally just constantly like basing off of like actual player experiences until they basically just perfectly fine-tuned everything in the game.
Well, and much like Kratos in God of War, like where
Zagreus isn't so angry though.
But they went through like probably hundreds of different character designs of what Kratos was going to be, what his name would be. Same with Zagreus. They thought for a long time on who the main character of their game would be. I think originally they thought of either making the main character Theseus or making him Achilles.
Oh, interesting.
That making him one of the more recognizable Greek heroes.
Right.
And there's like a little mentioned, not very well like known at all god or son of Hades named Zagreus, so that's what they went with. But piercing fire,
I mean, I definitely think this will probably be the definitive version of that in people's minds, because that's the only one I think that in any modern entertainment media they've ever done anything with.
This is good for armor. And then this is like a shotgun. If you do spread fire, it turns into a shotgun, basically. And this is a bunch of bombs. There's one really good bomb one that I would save it for. Let's just do armor, I guess. And then I would really like support. Wait, do I have support fire?
Said, but if a kid sees a frog murder a puppet over coffee, the crime rate will skyrocket.
Right.
Yeah. Well, remember, you go back to the far gone year of 2007, and Fox News was all about how Mass Effect was an alien sex simulator that was going to make all our kids gay. I don't know how many people remember that. But
I do not remember that.
Oh, Fox News was like throwing a goddamn tantrum over over Mass Effect, and just like they literally were like, yeah, like you could fuck anybody and anything, and you can choose exactly how you fuck them, and like, man, it's like if the sex scene in Mass Effect is like you kiss them and then the screen goes black, and then like, or maybe that's not it. Maybe you like see them in their underwear a little bit, and then that's like it.
Right.
It's tame. The Mass Effect like sex scenes are very tame. They're not that like complicated or like in depth. Like, I don't know. But again, that's how politicians in America at least think. I don't know if that's a problem. I don't know if that's a problem in any other countries where your politicians just constantly blame video games for problems in society.
Now every time I fire a bullet, there's a secondary projectile for every shot. So
nice.
That's why I do
there
not.
There are looter scenes in 50s PG movies than Mass Effect. Exactly. There absolutely are. No, seriously. Like it's like barely anything in Mass Effect. It's so tame.
No.
I mean, I almost wish it was full on like hardcore pornography just to piss off Fox News even more. Oh well, yeah, that's fair. In China and Russia, yeah. Well, and it was in China. Oh, that's actually a really interesting thing. In China, right? There's that whole thing where they banned children from playing more than like 3 hours of video games a week, because you have to have an ID to access like anything online, right? Like so they can track that. But there's just literally almost instantly there is now an entire other industry that has just been created in China where people just rent out their IDs so kids can use them to play video games for unlimited amounts of time. So like almost like what 2 weeks later, like almost right away,
Right.
almost immediately they just found their way around it. Like an entire economy now has built itself around getting around that restriction.
Yeah.
So. I mean, again, it just tells you, like, people will find a fucking way. If people want to do something, especially people on the internet, they will figure out a way to bend the rules. And yeah, China and Russia, for sure. That makes sense. But I guess, I don't know, like, are there any, like European countries that, where the politicians do that? Like, I guess I don't know if I've ever heard of that before. I just feel like... Just like how piracy thrives, the more companies try to fight. Exactly. Like the more you try and like make it, just make your shit easier to get. Make your shit convenient to get. Make it easy to get. Make it easy to buy it, and then people will buy it. People want to buy the product. People want to buy products. They want to give their money to things. They do. Mm-hmm. But sometimes these companies, they just make it so obtuse. France has a couple times. Okay, interesting. But just make your product easy to do. Violent video, many violent games board of Germany used to be impossible to stir law. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that because I have read stuff about Germany before, kind of censoring certain things. Like I want to say that. Back in,
Well, Germany will censor anything relating to Holocaust denial, you know?
Well, I mean, yeah, but, like, also even just, like, Wolfenstein, where you are killing Nazis, and Nazis are very much the bad guys. I want to say that even, I think, is censored just purely based on the imagery of the swastika and the Nazi symbols and stuff. Even though the whole point of the game is that you're murdering them because the Nazis are bad, I think even that is still censored. I want to say in Germany, just because it's like you cannot show the image in a period.
Mm-hmm. The Hydra's looking.
I'm going to run over to the fridge.
Now.
I'll be back in like 2 seconds. I'm just going to grab something to drink real quick.
For sure.
And
yeah. Yep, the Hydra's head is purple now.
Oddly enough, I think some Wii games in Europe are still allowed, or World War II games are allowed in Europe, like the Blitzkrieg series. Do they censor them though? Do they take out all the swastikas and make sure you can't see any of that? Because I don't know, I just feel like when the Nazis are the bad guys in a video game anyway, don't we want to like be pretty clear and obvious about the fact that the Nazis are bad? I don't know. I guess like I get why they're so sensitive about it, but at the same time, it's just like it's kind of the Voldemort effect, right? Like you know, it's not like saying we can't have this exist at all is going to make it not actually exist at all.
Right.
Right. Like I mean, I'm not saying anybody should be celebrating it or anything, but like I don't know. Like if it's clearly meant to be villainous.
Yeah.
Like, even Captain America.
However, to an extent, I don't even like how much we demonize Nazis anymore because it makes it such an obvious go-to for anybody wanting to call something bad to call it Nazi or to call it Hitler.
That's one thing, right? But they call things that are not Nazis Nazis.
Yeah. So
just to describe how bad it is.
I almost wish we didn't have a descriptor for it.
Sure.
Just so people couldn't just be lazy about it.
Right, because it is lazy to just throw the word, to just describe anything as being Nazi-like just because you don't like it. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, like...
It's lazy.
Just go back to calling something like the devil because at least the people don't believe in the devil anymore. So, I mean, largely...
I mean, well, that is true.
Like as a red guy with a pitchfork, I don't think anybody quite believes that notion of the devil anymore. Whereas Hitler, people are going to be like, yep, that's proof that people can be that evil and shit.
Although some people don't think he even really existed.
How do they not think that? What conspiracy theory is that?
Did you know that there is a significant chunk of the population that believes that Sherlock Holmes was a real person and that Winston Churchill was not?
Well, I could believe that some British people believe Sherlock Holmes is real in the way that some people in America believe that, like, Rocky was real, or some people in Philly might see the set.
Does anybody really believe Rocky was a real person?
I've heard before that on some survey taken that, like, some percentage of Americans believe that this is the life of a... Because, I mean, it's a little confusing, I mean, in a way, because Rocky was originally based off Rocky Marciano, who was a real Italian-American boxer.
Right, but that's still a different person.
I mean, he was very heavily that kind of inspiration and that character in the first Rocky movie. But he becomes so his own thing.
Especially as you go through the sequel.
He's fighting, Superman of Russians, of the KGB, Soviet Union.
Right.
It's like... I mean, it'd be kind of awesome if Rocky was real and all that shit happened. But
think the fact that it would be cool if Rocky had been a real dude.
Yeah.
Does not. I just don't understand how people truly actually believe that. I don't know. It hurts.
And I'll say it's a cool movie series in that it's a series of movies that never has any events happen in it that are like completely fantastic. Like, it is like a guy's rise to fame and basically his whole life story in these movies. So I could see people maybe younger seeing a lot of those movies and thinking like it really tells this whole fucking guy's life story and it doesn't ever have like a leprechaun in it or some shit. I don't know.
Everybody who saw the leprechaun say
yeah.
See, those are generally strategy games that focus only on battles and avoid the genocide part of the war entirely. I mean, like, I also get that. Like, I mean, like, they're just trying to make a video game. I guess that's fun, but I don't know. There's something, I think, to be said about desensitizing people to, like, real historical atrocities and stuff.
One thing I like about Zagreus, and sometimes that makes him seem like a real Greek hero or god, is sometimes if you're like really like fucking laying into an enemy, he'll just say something like weak as he's like killing dudes. Like Zagreus does have his own little bit of character just in battle that I like.
Yeah. Oh, I think they've done a pretty good job so far at least in this game, of kind of making Zagreus legitimately feel like a character.
Yes,
I think totally.
Flirt, hold cast in rapid succession. Yeah. Go with it. Alright, Daedalus. Let's go, Daedalus.
Daedalus. You think we'll beat Hades today?
We got like an hour left, and I still have to get to the surface here. I don't know.
We'll see. At some point, we'll do it, though.
Yeah, of course.
It'll happen eventually.
And like I said, it will get easier once we do it the first couple times, but once we upgrade more.
And nothing wrong with a difficult game, man. Like I've said before, I mean, I've really felt almost like an itch for difficult games.
Right.
Ever since I beat Cuphead, which I'm honestly sad that
you did it.
Well, no, I'm sad that I beat Cuphead before I ever started the idea of streaming, because that would have been a satisfying thing to do.
Yeah,
on a show.
Yes.
There is an expansion though. There's that expansion coming out at some point. Who knows when? But they're taking their time making it, which is good because it'll be actually finished when it comes out. But whenever that comes out, I will have even if I don't have a co-host, I'm going to do like a solo marathon stream they drop that Cuphead expansion. I don't even care. It could be the middle of the night here, and I will just fucking do an uber long stream of just binging that Cuphead expansion. That's gonna be fucking awesome.
That would be very fun. Let's see. I already had this. Do I still have that? Yeah. At least for one more chamber. Oh, there's some health right there. some of the little upgrades you buy, sometimes you forget to even make use of them, because that's when enemies have like a 15% chance of dropping health if you kill them.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If you leave the room sometimes without checking, there could be a whole big chunk of health just lying around there.
Definitely check that thoroughly then.
Yeah. That's why I generally run around the room once or twice before I leave.
No, that's good. That's smart.
Let's see.
Damn it, Will's come back.
Oh, where?
Oh yeah, Michael, was there? Well, I was just gonna bring it back up again though. Were there any other like?
Well, and of course the Wolverine and the Spider-Man trailers were dope. I mean, it's super fucking cool, the idea of the story. If it is Kraven the Hunter hunting down Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Venom. That's a cool fucking story.
Has there ever been a storyline in the comics where Kraven hunted Venom?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's actually a pretty cool, unique idea, if that is what it is.
As a big monster, it is something he'd hunt, you know.
Before Chadwick Boseman died, and I mean, you could still do this with, like, Shuri as Black Panther,
sure.
But I thought it would be kind of cool if, like, one of the movies they did was, like, specifically just a two-character crossover of Spider-Man and Black Panther, because they both have these powerful, like, animal-themed characters.
Well, and to have Kraven tie into Africa, because he often hunts, or that was a big part of his character, was that he hunted on safari in Africa a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure there would be some non-PC implications to that today, but it is...
Well, he's also a villain, so I mean, I don't... You know.
Right, but he's also, like, usually, a lot of times he's given a wife, and he's sometimes made very sympathetic.
Sure.
So it again goes to that thing of, like, not just making your enemies or people you don't like out to be the devil, instantly.
Right. But he...
Crystal Beam.
I feel like it's almost weird, and maybe this has happened in the comics, and I just don't know about that particular book. But it would almost seem weird to me that Kraven the Hunter hasn't ever tried to hunt Black Panther.
Frost Flourish, yep.
Hey Tim.
I was with you there, Tim.
How's it going, Tim? Did you do anything fun since I saw you? I mean, what?
Let's see.
Have you done anything fun in the last hour? Since I very recently saw you.
I don't want to sound like I'm blind, but does it say 125 or 175 health in the bottom?
125.
Okay. So, I could use a little more.
Does laundry count as fun? I mean, if you find it fun, it counts as fun.
What's fun?
Laundry.
Oh, yeah. I do, enjoy laundry. It's very relaxing and peaceful.
See, there you go. We got one person saying it's fun. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be almost kind of weird if Kraven hasn't ever hunted Black Panther before.
I mean, that makes it like uncharted territory for narrative in the game for sure.
Well, I'm thinking if for like a movie in the MCU.
Like, sure.
Like maybe it could be Shuri since Chadwick.
I suppose, but I mean that's one thing I like. I like different mediums to do different stories sometimes. It's
right. Let's see, Tim just said Adamant Rail is the one I beat the game with first too. The special is overpowered if you pour tons of damage buffs into it. So both No Name and Tim, that is the weapon name. When you beat Hades for the first time, Michael, what was the weapon you used?
Oh shit, it's been so long since I've thought about what I had. It was probably, I would like to think either the fist or the rail, but because I just used those a lot when I was first playing.
Sure.
But it might have just happened to be perchance one of the other weapons. Unfortunately, I'm sure it says on my game, but I don't have my Switch with me at the moment.
Oh shit. I'm curious what the difficulty on Deathloop is going to be like since we're playing it for the first time today, but...
Right.
Do you find the difficulty level different from Switch to PlayStation?
No, not really. Well, it's easier in the fact that, like, with me and Sage trading off here, and I mean... like Sage brought up, me being a more experienced player already, when I was I had more of an idea immediately of what I was doing,
Sure.
And I think it got us through more of the game faster, and the faster you get through it, the faster you're going to get through it the next time, you know?
Right.
So it definitely has felt easier, especially in a two-person situation like this.
And but at the same time, part of that might just be because you've already done it all once.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like if I started playing Hades on any system for the second time, it just would feel easier.
Hey, Mad Ted, how you doing? Can't stay long, just know she got over 50 costs. Thank you, that happened just this morning, and it went even higher, so yeah, super fucking awesome. Cool. I appreciate it, and thank you for the support and help that you gave to help get me there. Making money moves. Hey, that's what I hope. I hope so. I hope so, Irish wife. That's what I want to do eventually. I really do. I want to. It might take a long time. But if I do this for maybe a couple of years, I don't know. I'm hoping that I can eventually make enough money to live off of with this, and actually do it as a full-time job. Someday. I'm not counting on it being anytime super soon, but I do think eventually it could work up to it.
And address to that last comment, yeah, I mean, yes, it was harder on the Switch, but...
Do you think the controller itself played any factor?
I didn't really, like, it does play very similar, like, the button assignment seems very similar.
Right.
So, that part isn't too, but yeah, maybe the smaller screen.
No Name said, I played a bunch on the Switch as a handheld and we're struggling with it more, but that might be the screen size. And to be fair, we're also playing it on a 110-inch projector screen. So like, you really can just see every little detail. Hey, thanks, man, Ted. Hope you have a good rest of your day, whatever you're doing.
You'll be able to see every little thing. It's gonna be alright. I don't know. This might be helpful because we are definitely gonna die at least a couple more times in these next couple boss fights. So it was an Ares boon, and when you die, you deal more damage when you come back. So, hell, I might die once in this chamber. We will see.
Let's see. Tim said, in the Mirror of Night, taking Shadow Presence, Stygian Soul, and Boiling Blood combined with Aphrodite for special and a Hephaestus buff to it. Either 5-shot with negative 30% damage or plus 300%. Those combined, and you can get hits of 1,000 plus damage.
Tim's knowledge of the stats for these boons is pretty mind-blowing.
Right? Tim's got some major stat knowledge on these games.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes when we're playing Dark Souls, and he starts rattling off information, I'm like, how do you even know this?
Yeah.
Like, how did you... I don't...
Because my brain doesn't think in numbers whatsoever.
No, me either. No Name, I did wonder about the controller. Mine does drift some as well, so combination of that was not great. Fair enough. Yeah, the drift on the Switch controllers definitely is annoying. You should get No Name, you should get a Pro controller for your Switch. So you basically so it's basically playing an Xbox.
I basically did buy a wireless controller for my... Yeah. So I did actually play on that a lot during the Switch, so honestly it feels... it's more like a traditional controller, yeah.
And Tim just said, I've completed my 45th Hades kill last night. I blame the mild autism.
Yeah, the mild autism. I'm with you there, Tim.
I think a lot of us do. A lot of us are.
People blame shit on my autism or what?
No, are like autistic.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know if I am, but like there are things I catch myself doing sometimes, and I go like, I probably am.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was diagnosed autistic once, and so I just like accept it and how it makes me sexy or whatever.
I almost spit out my drink.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk while you're drinking.
You're fine, no, that was hilarious.
Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah, fuck you, Dad. You never bought me a car.
I'm the birthday boy and you're my birthday bitches today.
Yeah, we do have the normal controllers playing in the car, so it didn't work. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I do think it is easier to play on a traditional controller than on the Switch itself.
Yeah, like if you use the normal Switch controllers.
Yeah. Or just,
I will say, I straight up tried to play, our Nadia got BioShock on her Switch. and
no.
like genuinely didn't enjoy it.
Oh, really?
And she loves Bioshock, but playing it on the Switch with the Switch controller just genuinely didn't have fun playing it.
Sure.
And I think it was all because of the controller difference.
Yeah. I mean, you get used to a certain just feeling in your hands when playing certain games, so
yeah,
it doesn't surprise me. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something.
Well, the Xbox and the PlayStation for me are like totally interchangeable.
Yeah, right.
Like I can pick up an Xbox controller or pick up a PlayStation controller, and it's like it doesn't even make.
I do surprisingly still get thrown off a little bit by the different symbols on the buttons.
Yeah,
sometimes, like, I mean, just for me, like, switching from a PlayStation controller to an Xbox controller, sometimes I'm not going to know what I'm doing as instantly.
No, and that's, yeah, I mean, and I've just spent more time with kind of, or
with both systems.
More divided time between the systems. But I also, for me, I think the way that I think about it is I don't really even think about the symbols. I just have it so ingrained in my muscle memory where the buttons are on the controller that I'm like not even reading the tutorial really. My fingers are just reacting to the instructions on their own.
Oh, sure.
So like I'm not even really looking at what the symbols are. I just kind of know so deeply kind of where the symbols are on the controller that I just don't.
But once I get the hang of it, I typically don't have a hard time with controllers.
You gotta spend a little time
I'm used to Nintendo controllers back from like, you know, the N64, like Nintendo Nintendo just made controllers that were just like crazy. It was like holding Rubik's Cube. It was like trying to figure out a Rubik's Cube. They were like little puzzles.
I honestly hate the Nintendo 64 controller.
I have a nostalgic fondness for it, but
well, and maybe at a Dreamcast.
I should.
I'm gonna have to look up a picture of their Dreamcast controller.
Yeah, I never played Dreamcast.
Yes, Ulysses, Hades does have Happy Meals.
Wait, what? What was he asking about?
Because the fries and burgers.
Yes,
food.
That's right.
After going from, what about the Dreamcast? I'm looking up a picture of the Dreamcast controller because I don't remember. That controller sucks too. Yeah, look at the Dreamcast controller, Michael.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
Yeah, no, I did not like the Dreamcast.
I do remember that controller now that I'm seeing it, but I never actually held one, so maybe I would have liked it, but I doubt it.
Yeah. After going from PS2 to Xbox 360, I still think of bottom button as X and top is triangle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of with them there.
With the goddamn memory card slot in the controller, isn't it a Euro? Yeah, or you're right. No, name it is a Euro in fries. It's definitely a Euro.
That's
It's not a burger. It's a Euro. Yeah.
But it's still a very modern looking, fast food looking meal.
No, it absolutely is. I'm going to use the bathroom just ever so briefly while you do this boss fight.
Yeah.
Be back in a second, people.
How long's it been since you took a piss? Sage does not journal his piss entries, apparently. Shit. Alright, chat, if I don't catch anything immediately that you're saying, it's just because I'm getting my ass kicked at the moment. Alright. Come on, don't get hit again.
No, you would have hated it. It was only usable because the games on that system were pretty solid and you had no alternatives.
I was hoping Mysterious would drop some health there.
Oh, yeah, the Dreamcast? Yeah, no, the Dreamcast controller was pretty shitty. I mean, even then, like, what were the great games on the Dreamcast? I mean, I know the original Jet Set Radio was awesome, but, like, what else did you really have on that system? I mean, like, I know there
were quite a few classics on the Dreamcast. I just can't think of them.
Like, I know people have nostalgia for, like, Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. I think those games kind of suck, to be honest.
Sure.
I just don't think they're very good. At least now, they've not aged well, for sure, at the very least.
I am not a big fan of many of the Sonic games, so I can't really speak on it there.
I think that's because they're bad.
Yeah.
Shenmue, Crazy Taxi, Sonic, Resident Evil, Resident Evil was on the, well, I guess was Resident Evil on the Dreamcast as well, but that Resident Evil you could play on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I think you were talking exclusives on the Dreamcast, probably.
Yeah, I meant like games you could only get on the Dreamcast, though. Like truly unique. Soul Calibur might have been exclusive to the first Dreamcast, though. The very first one.
That might have been.
My favorite will always be Soul Calibur 2, though.
Soul Calibur 2 is so fucking bomb.
That would be a great stream at some point if we just set up like the Soul Calibur 2, and even if we weren't like doing any like significant like story in it, I
was gonna say I don't think we'd get a lot out of that, but many streams out of it. But
there's an arcade. Crazy Taxi was also PS2. That's what I thought. Yeah, I don't know if we can. I mean, like, there's the arcade mode in Soul Calibur 2, but then there's also just like a massive like story mode where you're like journeying through all like the dungeons and I don't know if you remember that, but
all right.
there was actually a long ass story mode in Soul Calibur 2.
Oh sure.
It was.
But I'm just saying, like, how many streams could we really get? I mean, it'd be fun to do. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, well, no, totally. That would be something where I think it'd be more fun if there was like a couple of us and we were just kind of passing the controller and having some fights and hanging out, talking about other stuff more than the game itself, kind of thing.
Right. Well, that's fair enough.
Omicron was a little known one. But I remember Tiny Tim liking that a fair bit. Omicron. I don't know if I've heard of that game.
Yeah,
tell us, Tim. Tell us in the chat what was Omicron. What was that about? Or just like a basic idea. Bleed also a decent horror game for coming out in 1999. So you can teach me some things about the Dreamcast then, Tim.
Yeah.
I
never owned a Dreamcast.
Yeah, I never had my own Dreamcast, so I played it at like friends' houses a little bit, but like that was not a system I owned when I was a kid. When I can eventually afford to get all the nice fancy equipment and really make the stream as professional as possible, and get the capture card and stuff, I do want to go and I want to stream some older consoles and like some older
games. That would be great.
Too.
That'd be very fun.
I'd love to do a Togi.
Yeah, right.
Because that's the same developer as Dark Souls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Adventure game played from third-person and side-on perspectives in unarmed combat and first-person view in armed fighting. One of the first actual explore the area games in the 3D setting. All right, interesting. I would be down to play it. I wonder. I mean, I would want to get all the other equipment for the stream first, but like maybe I'll look into like trying to get like some old classic systems.
That would be cool.
Because it would also be fun to play. It would be like Maximum Carnage on like the Sega Genesis. If I could set that up, that'd be super fun. It's available on PC, but the specs were too high to be wildly available at the time. So is that something? Can you get that on Steam nowadays? Like, is that available still to just kind of set up on your computer now? Because if the specs were hard to get at the time. Shit. I assume it's pretty easy to do now.
Alright, we're fighting like a Super Satyr now, like Super Shredder.
Oh shit. That Satyr went Super Saiyan?
Yep. He can just spit poison directly at you, so
that's fun.
It's very easy to...
Oh, well, see, there you go. That's just on Steam. Nice. That'll be another thing, too, is like, I don't really use Steam. I have a Steam account, but I don't use it very much. Or at all, really. Mostly because I don't have a computer that is really capable of playing games, really.
Damn! Look how much.
And if I get the new computer to make the stream as good as I can, I would certainly be I'd certainly be interested in trying to do more Steam games. There's a game called Devotion that I would love to be able to do a stream for. That's the one that China got like banned worldwide because it had the Winnie the Pooh reference in it.
Oh, sure.
Because you can get it from Red Candle Games' actual personal website now. You can buy it directly from them, but it's a PC only thing. Like there's no console release for it at all.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
That's what I would like to see. Studio is Ida, same people as Just Cause Thief and Project Snowblind. Yeah, the accidental Winnie the accidental Winnie the Pooh reference. That's 100% true. It was some bullshit because it wasn't even supposed to be in there. And they took it out within an hour of the game coming out, and someone pointing out that it was there, and China still said, no, fuck you, you can't release your game now.
I just love how much that Chinese dictator looks like Winnie Pooh, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Xi Jinping, you look like Winnie the Pooh. Haha. Our stream is now banned in China.
Good.
Just because of that. Just because of that. Another fun pass and play kind of game to stream would be some Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. That's true. Although I did think about one issue with streaming Tony Hawk is I think we'd have to and I think there's an option in the game, but we would have to turn off the music. We'd completely have to turn the music off.
Oh, really?
Which, yeah, because that's like the one thing that would get us copyright strikes is like licensed music. That's like Twitch is kind of sensitive about that, and I think Tony Hawk would be too much like big licensed music to be playing.
Oh, sure.
And I believe we can turn the music off, but it's also part of me also is like, man, is Tony Hawk even as fun without the music? Is it, going on in the background? I mean, maybe it is, but
right.
I mean, it would still be fun. It would still totally be fun, I think.
I mean, could you do it so you'd still hear the music and then the stream couldn't? Oh, okay.
I don't think so, sadly.
Because then that might be an option.
Bleed came out towards the end of the Dreamcast life, made some major contributions towards the horror genre along Silent Hill and Resident Evil, only it didn't have as much of a series, so it faded into obscurity. Bleed has a cast of multiple characters, all of which can pass away to accumulate a higher body count and ultimately affect the game's ending.
Ah, shit.
That's a feature still used in many games today. There's that. Yeah, I don't know. It would just be an unfortunate, yeah.
I'm back. Again.
Alright, how's the sound, guys? Is the sound good? I just want to
think so.
It's definitely, what was that? It's definitely an integral part of the experience of that game, yeah. R.I.P. Michael. It's very stupid you'd be punished for the music in a game on stream. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree, but it's just how they've got it set up.
I'll to spend some of these
What do you want?
I'm concerned that
Achilles.
angry with you. He thinks you've taken sides against him and all this.
Cool.
I don't want anything to happen.
He's right, lad. I have taken sides. But as for you not wanting anything to happen, well, I know what you meant. I don't want you to say such things again. Do you understand? You're doing this because something here needs to happen. Hold back your fear.
Fear is for the weak.
Save your pity for the weak.
That's something also Achilles has said to you in the past. He said fear is for the weak. So they do a really good job making Achilles badass just through conversation in this game.
I mean, he hasn't even done anything, and I like this addition to the character quite a bit.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead. Give him a break.
You know of honest work.
Fuck you, Dad.
Dead yet honor me as Lord. I cannot say the same for you.
Huh. Sword of the Berserk Guts' Rage also came out on Dreamcast, bringing Berserk to the console for the first time. Its success is the reason we got more Berserk games at all, and it's still a Dreamcast exclusive from what I know. Are you sure? Because I could have I swear to God I've seen like a PS2 copy of that game in person before.
The other cool thing that's about Achilles is kind of like in the same way that, Alexander the Great had Aristotle as his personal tutor growing up. Hades makes Achilles be his personal trainer. So everything he knows about how to fight, he learned directly from Achilles growing up.
Huh. Yeah, that's cool. I like that a lot.
I could have gone off on my own.
And you would not have gone far, child.
I do feel like
Too proud to accept assistance in personal matters. Do not cede take the advantage that you have.
I was gonna say, don't be too proud, Zagreus. Don't be too much like Hades, because you definitely need help.
Yeah.
I shall do everything.
That's actually one of the character foils that Zagreus doesn't quite have. I mean, especially relatively. Oh, you didn't talk to Deuce a bit.
Oh, god damn it! Go back again.
She's always hiding in that little corner.
Dreamcast, there may have been fan-made port simulations, but it would be all. Oh, huh. Interesting. I guess I could have sworn. Could have been exclusive. They got ported to stuff later. Sort of like how the first Legacy of Kain was for PS1, but got ported to the PC a couple of. Yeah.
Do say. Turns out that I may be stopping back from time to time like this, but please don't bother picking up my room. I won't be staying long.
Yeah, just there, that's something that distinguishes Zagreus. He doesn't, like, make everybody kowtow to him in the way that other gods do.
How would a relationship with just this floating head work? I mean, I get that there'd be a lot of head, but, like, what else?
I mean, it would be rather one way in terms of pleasure.
I don't know, it just doesn't seem like...
You know, there's a pleasurable sensation that comes from kissing. You know,
would you not get turned to stone? I mean, like, I don't know. You need 5 keys. How many do we have? Do we only have 1?
Let's try this mirror stuff again.
Oh, whoops.
I did spend some keys on the gun.
Whoops! I just like undid everything. Let's go back and do that again. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do the undo.
Yep.
How many keys do we have? How do we check that?
So it's on the right side when you click out of
this.
Yeah.
So we have 2 right now. Okay, so we need 5 to unlock.
So yeah,
just that round. Okay.
Get a lot of keys this time.
So the strangest thing happened while you were out, boy. One of your weapons.
Here's our Irish skeleton.
This eerie glow. Can see it from the corner of my eye.
That means that weapon is ready to. At some point, move on to its next form. But you need a certain amount of Titan blood.
For sure. And have we gotten enough yet? Okay.
Or I don't know how much we have exactly, but we have gotten a little amount of it.
I should go check it out.
Alright. Oh, okay. So it's the spear, huh?
It's time, Baratha.
Or the eerie glow. If
he's the only one that had like a glow on it.
Okay. So you can make it look like the spear that Achilles used to use when he fought.
Oh.
So that's what's really cool about that. You can make.
So is it just this first one here that's unlocked?
Yeah, that's all we've got right now. We have 5 Titan Bloods, so you could unlock another version of this weapon at this time.
A different weapon, maybe.
Yeah, but those other weapons aren't yet able to transform. So
interesting. I'm gonna try the gun, and I just want to test it out.
Yeah, go for it.
Especially because I'm thinking this will probably be our last run of the day, too.
It's gonna,
Aspect of Hades is the second best. The one you unlock last is the best, but the hardest spear to use. It's the best, but it's the hardest to use.
Yeah, that's true. It limits your health, that last spear.
I really do enjoy the Irish skeleton.
Yeah, me too.
And also the fact that it's the same voice actor as Zagreus that is doing the Irish skeleton.
Yeah, that was something I never knew.
It's such a cruelty that your father hid the knowledge of your birth and life from us, my cousin. It's unacceptable.
Alright, I mean, if you say so. Dash. Yeah. Nice, that was the first one I got on the last run and this run.
Alright. And then,
Ooh, I like that. Oh.
Perhaps in other realms, either Asphodel or Elysium, before going into them, equip Athena's keepsake, because now, then it'll kind of...
Oh yeah, I didn't even think to look at the keepsake.
Right. Yeah, that's something you'll want to start... Once we have more keepsakes, that's something we'll do more often. Just increase your chances of getting that divine protection boon.
Get some good shit in here.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, Michael, any other interesting weird shit from, during the week that we haven't talked about yet? Anything else interesting?
Let's see.
No topic really is I don't know.
Well, right now you're starting to sound like one of my college teachers who's like, all right, come up.
Trying to encourage you.
Yeah,
Just to
come up with an answer right now.
Do an icebreaker.
And then,
you know? No, I will never do an icebreaker on anything.
and then, like, they'll only give you, sometimes they'll give you like a minute, sometimes they'll give you like 10 seconds to answer, and then once they've moved on, we're like, all right, I guess nobody has anything to say, then you think of something to say.
Fully empower Hades configuration. Your charge attack makes everything it hits take 150 plus damage from all attacks. Makes for a sweeping victory. Ha 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 ha! With your dad jokes, Tim. Special stronger and inflicts chill. Attack stronger and inflicts chill.
Might as well go with the flourish since it's rare.
Sweet. Alright, is that it?
Well, and then some of the crazy things and like. Well, and also just kind of dumb things in like one of the episodes of Titans.
Oh yeah, please talk about Stoner Scarecrow
on HBO Max. Well, this didn't really have anything to do with Stoner Scarecrow that I can think of at the immediate moment. But so like for some reason, it like starts out finally going like flashbacking into Barbara Gordon and Dick Grayson's past.
3 seasons in, huh? And the main characters are only just getting flashbacks?
Well, Barbara Gordon's never been a character till this season. They just randomly added her because they're like, it makes sense, I guess, now during the Red Hood storyline to make Barbara Gordon exist.
That's weird. I don't really see the logic there, but okay.
But they flashback, and at first there's like this woman dropping from a skylight in a museum to like steal a jewel.
Okay.
So who does that sound like?
Catwoman?
Yeah, it very clearly is like this Catwoman type character, and Robin jumps down there because he's like, I guess it's long enough ago that he's wearing his Robin costume.
Mod this, so these are all the gloves from Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, right.
Floating around trying to grab you.
And then Robin takes off the girl's mask, and it's Barbara Gordon. And he's like...
Wait, what? She's robbing people?
Yeah, and he's like, I heard that jewels around the globe have been getting stolen. I presume that's you. And she's like, yeah, I'm just trying to... you know... She says something about... She says like she's like improving their security by stealing their shit. I don't know.
What?
And then, like, halfway through the episode, Dick and Barbara are in bed, and this is like such a Catwoman scene. Like, all the jewels she's stolen are necklaces, diamond necklaces and whatnot, are just sprawled out around the bed.
Why?
And on the bed, and it's like the room is just full of stolen jewelry. And then Dick's even trying some on, and he's like, "Here, you'd look great in this." And it's like
so Batgirl is a thief, and Robin is trying on her jewelry.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what's happening.
And no, at a certain point, and then like they make out a little bit, and then Barbara's like. She's like, why don't you steal something with me? And Dick's like, okay. And then
then Batman fucking knocks him both upside the head.
No, at no point does Bruce, I don't think he ever knew about this. Yeah, no, there was some dumb shit going on in that episode because it's like, and then they go, and of course something bad happens during this crime they're committing.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have predicted that.
And besides the crime itself, then two like assassins show up at the same time. I don't even remember.
Seems like an unnecessary foible to add, but alright.
Yeah, or maybe they were there to rob it too. But I mean, they're assassins in the present storyline of the episode.
They're being stopped by other criminals that want to steal the shit they're stealing. Does that not make them seem like criminals?
Yeah, they come there to steal the stuff, and Dick is like, no, it's not right that you steal this. It's only right that we steal it. And then
what the hell?
They're
so heroic.
And they're an assassin husband and wife, and the wife ends up throwing a dagger into her husband's chest and killing him, and that's why she hates Barbara Gordon in the present.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and then there's a scene earlier in the episode, the Thunder Signet, where we're turning to. Ooh, I forgot what their duo boons look like. Oh, no duo boon.
What's that?
No duo boon between Demeter and Zeus. Heavenly Vengeance is pretty good.
Let's do that.
Um,
Heaven's Vengeance. That's exactly what Tim wanted to.
And then, like, at another scene in the episode, Scarecrow is showing, like, Jason is starting to get uppity with Scarecrow, and Jason's like, "What?" It's starting to become like Breaking Bad a little bit.
What?
Because like
Titans is becoming like Breaking Bad.
because like Scarecrow is like the master chemist, right? And and Jason is basically Red Hood is becoming like the Jesse of the scenario because he's.
I never could have foreseen.
Because Red Hood is Jason Todd is like, I want to break off and do my own drug operation or whatever, you know, and Scarecrow's just like, you're not ready yet. It's just like, and then they go to this, and once Jason starts really bitching about it, Scarecrow's like, okay, come with me, and they go to this like hospital.
Do they have a duo, Zeus and Demeter? Like, do they have a duo at all?
I thought they did. I've
no name asked. That's why I brought it up.
I thought all the gods had duo boons with each other, but
they do.
Yeah,
Tim says they do.
Yeah.
Tim, I trust that Tim knows.
Yeah. No, I mean all the gods they give boons. They have.
Okay.
Except for I'm trying to think if Hermes really has duo boons. Tim, does Hermes have duo boons? I don't, because Hermes doesn't have like traditional boons that he offers, so.
Hermes does not. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, and then Scarecrow takes him to this like operating room in a hospital, and they're standing on the other side of the glass, and they're about to they're like a few surgeons about to perform surgery on this person, and Scarecrow's like, just watch. And then the
watch the surgery. Like what are we doing here?
And then the assassin comes in that's been hunting Barbara in the present day storyline, and she comes in and just like mutilates all the surgeons. She just like fucking kills them in a bloodbath.
Barbara Gordon?
What? Oh, no, the assassin lady that is hunting Barbara comes in and just kills all these people, and Jason just is standing there watching. And it's like, there are two things that I have a problem with this scene. Like, one, I get that he's got this drug that's making him, like, apathetic or emotionless or whatever.
Right.
But how are we supposed to buy him as a superhero at all if he has no urge
to help anyone?
To help and save these people that are being killed literally right in front of him? Two, it's like... Basically, Scarecrow brought Jason here to scare the patooties out of him.
But he's also giving him a drug that makes him not have feelings.
Yeah.
So why would he...
Right, that part also doesn't make sense. And it's also like, isn't he a superhero? Isn't he like used to seeing people like this on a daily or a regular basis?
In Gotham? I mean, goddamn bet your ass he should be.
Yeah, so like...
And he's a villain at this point, right? Like, anti-hero villain. So, yeah, he really should be.
So it was basically Scarecrow brought in this other muscle to scare his muscle.
That doesn't make any sense.
And that's what was the point of the scene. But it's just like... Okay, but how does that make Jason effective muscle if he's fearful?
Right.
And yes, how is he fearful if he's taking a drug that makes him not fearful? See, like there isn't a lot. And then I will say the last episode was one of their better episodes because it was a little more Scarecrow heavy, and basically Scarecrow, just like all the groundwork that Red Hood had been laying for him earlier in the season, like when Red Hood goes to the crime bosses and lays the heads of their lieutenants on the table and says like, hey, you kind of worked for me now. Basically Scarecrow goes to that room of these five family crime heads and says like, yeah, actually I'm running him. This is all my shit. You all belong to me right now.
They just made Red Hood a Scarecrow henchman.
Yeah, for some reason they played Arkham Knight and thought heavily of the Scarecrow Red Hood duality, and I think that's where they got it from. But it actually made Scarecrow an effective villain because he just shows that he's...
Well, it makes Red Hood a less effective villain.
Yeah, it makes Red Hood like a little bitch. And it really has throughout this whole season. But Scarecrow, it's cool, like he shows up even without having to wear a mask or whatever.
But he does have a joint in his mouth.
he should have had... Unfortunately, he's moved a little away from the stoner personality and
That was the best part.
he still smokes pot every once in a while in the background of the show, but he's now like the more domineering. Like it was effective. I'll say this, for setting him up as a stoner. It kind of made me not. It makes the viewer not fear Scarecrow as like a threatening villain. You just assume like, oh, I guess he's just a total pothead.
That's what I thought.
But,
I mean, literally, you showed me like a 5-minute scene of him dancing.
yeah, exactly. And but it's cool that Scarecrow. See, she talks the most shit for sure. But Scarecrow, like, it's cool that he can just walk into a room without even wearing a mask or anything, and all the other criminals get like fucking afraid right away, and they're just like, fucking Scarecrow, like, what are you doing here? So like that was cool, and then he basically like hacked Oracle, like, because this is
like
going
a wheelchair, or like
because lately for a long, maybe you weren't aware of this then, but in DC Comics for a long time
she had a little chip in her spine that made her walk again.
Well, that's better.
That wasn't what it was.
No.
She just like they put like a chip in her spine. That like
no, they never really went into why she could walk again.
Oh, wait, what? They didn't explain it.
Not super.
I made that up.
Yeah, and it was
like,
better.
Thought there needed to be a sensical explanation.
Yeah, I like it. That should be in the comics. But no, they've moved away for several years now from the idea of Barbara Gordon and Oracle being another superhero identity of hers. Instead, and instead has made it that she either was paralyzed once or has never been paralyzed, and Oracle is just.
But shouldn't that have come back when they like got the like history back from Dr. Manhattan? Shouldn't that have like restored all of that continuity?
It should have, but what has become the status quo with Oracle is that Oracle is just some supercomputer she invented.
Really, that's it?
Yeah, just some AI she made that helps her out. And anyways,
wow, that's stupid.
Isn't that far less?
It makes her Iron Man.
Right, exactly. It's her Jarvis. Yep.
Yeah.
So isn't that far less interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was interesting than her being a fucking genius.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For sure. But what they say here is that she must not have even been that much of a genius, because the super AI that she made, Scarecrow hacked. And
Scarecrow, the hacker.
Yeah, and so anytime they've been using Oracle, it's just been Scarecrow feeding them bullshit information.
That's
to make them idiots, you know.
That's really.
But it makes Scarecrow seem way smarter.
It does,
right?
but it makes Barbara seem like a fucking terrible idiot character.
Yeah, well, in this show, I don't quite like their take on Barbara very much at all.
But even in the comics, you're saying that's kind of what she's been like.
Well, in as much as they, you know, that it's a computer that she made, you know. And sometimes what it is she made it while she was Oracle, and she made it as kind of an aspect of her persona then that carries on, even when she goes back to being Batgirl. But other times it's just the name of the program, the software.
I think that's stupid. That's terrible writing to change that way.
I agree, but that was one of the trade-offs they did not think about at all when they made Barbara Gordon Batgirl again.
Why couldn't she have just gotten a really like fucking crazy like sci-fi chip attached to her spine that allowed her to walk again?
Yeah, well, that was itself
upgrade. I mean, like, but without maybe that doesn't have like an intelligence to it, but.
Yeah, or I mean, it would add to Barbara being a genius if she did devise that chip herself.
Or she built that and made herself.
That could have been good way to segue into it. Like, I've created this computer chip that after my time as Oracle, I'm calling it the Oracle chip.
Right, that would have made sense.
And then it could go from there.
Enough.
It could work in the comic because that's an actual technology and development. Yeah, that's true. Right. They are working on that. Bane could do some chiropractic moves on her.
That's a good one.
That's great.
Yeah. So now I feel like they've completely removed the pathos of Barbara Gordon's character arc of having been crippled and having to live this life in the wheel. Like now Bruce,
huge part of her character, I feel like.
Now Bruce Wayne has more of that pathos, which is effective because there was still that span of time after Bane put him in the wheelchair and Bruce had to live with it. That's still an arc that's considered, active continuity still, and it's So I think they fumble a lot of these characters sometimes when they're like, oh, let's bring the most popular version of them back. It's like, no, DC, you do this thing called Legacy where you have other people take on the mantle,
right?
And they have become the character while this person has become their own, far more interesting version of who they were.
Well, it's like if we can't
like Dick becoming Nightwing is the same thing as Barbara becoming Oracle.
Totally.
Like that's who they evolved into.
Yeah.
You know.
I just don't understand why they are so determined to undo character development. You know.
Continuity reboots, so that they have a fresh start for new readers who don't buy the comic.
You get the laser beam.
Wait, what? Could I? Let's see. Yeah. My Aunt Lynn just texted me saying, asking me if I could work 2 to 4:30.
It's already 4:44.
No, like on Friday.
Oh, okay.
But
Athena's Aid, the call. Should I take that?
Athena's Aid.
What do you think? Or there's also just a resist damage too.
Yeah, there are other. There's other aids I like better.
Bronze. That's what Tim suggests. The bronze.
Yeah,
skin.
go for the bronze. There's other aids I like better.
Okay.
It's not my favorite aid. No.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I heard your AIDS joke.
I just wanted to make sure you did. But
damn contagious AIDS.
But no, it's weird. Like randomly, obviously, sometimes if you work a job that is shift based, sometimes you'll just get texts, about like, hey, can you work the shift?
Right.
But it's weird to just get a text from Outland saying, hey, can you work a shift from 2:30 to 4:30?
Yeah, that is.
Have a relative text you about working.
Yeah, that is weird.
Because apparently it's her only shift on Friday. I guess she's going on some trip Wednesday through Friday, and it's the only shift she doesn't have covered. She's asking me if I can work it.
Do you work already or have school?
I will work after 4:30 at the other job, and then I'm trying to think when my other class is. I have a class that starts at 1:50, goes for an hour, so I would have to miss some of that class if I did it. I'll say I will look at the logistics of it.
Hey, there we go. I think you do. All right. What do we think? Chat, vote on the boon. Let the chat vote for these. I will succumb to peer pressure for this one.
Zeus gives good aids.
Lightning strike? Alright. I don't see anybody else suggesting
it. Yeah, go for it. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Ulysses, for being on the same AIDS page with me.
Leave extra damage to every single shot. Alright, let's do lightning strike then. Yeah.
I think you should have gotten AIDS from Zeus, but alright.
I don't really want Zeus's AIDS.
Man, Zeus's AIDS must be painful, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Just like lightning.
No Name's the only one that called it Zeus's aid.
Like lightning just constantly shooting out of your dick? That would suck. That'd be kind of helpful in some situations.
Would it?
Yeah.
How would that? What situation would that ever be helpful?
Somebody's pissing you off. You just drop your pants and shoot a ball of lightning out of your dick at them.
Well, yeah, but how is that an acceptable solution?
It's acceptable because I now have the power of Zeus in my dick.
What are you gonna take over the world with it?
I'm gonna shoot my supervisor with it at work.
You shoot your supervisor?
Yeah.
If you pee, you electrocute yourself? Is that how that was? That?
That's why I would pee on my supervisor. I don't know.
Would you just automatically like
Pee on him? Yeah.
no electrocute yourself?
No, I hope not. That shouldn't be how it works.
Last chance.
Let's see.
Damn. All right. We automatically zap your tickle. Oh my god.
That's just physics.
Worst superhero ever.
Dick Lightning? I like it.
Is that the name of the character, Dick Lightning?
Yeah.
Alright.
He happened to be one of those very...
Poseidon's AIDS? No. I mean, I'm like, actually. I'd call it the Flash. but that's taken.
Poseidon's AIDS. Yeah, get Poseidon's AIDS.
Alright, I'll get Poseidon's AIDS.
Thank you.
I like how much of this is just devolved into AIDS jokes.
AIDS jokes are tight.
That's the best for me. It's like a beta with added mobility and damage. Fair enough, it does seem like a pretty good one. Oh, whoopsie. Whoopsie.
No, whoopsie. Well.
Oh, there we are. There you guys are. Hiding over here? Alright, there you are.
Let me check this damn syllabus and see if I can work Otlin's job for her.
Oh god.
God's grant me strength.
Alright, chat, what do we think? What should we upgrade? If I remember correctly, getting an STD from a god was an important part of the Epic of Gilgamesh. Is it? Is that a big part of the Epic of Gilgamesh? Vengeance seems pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You do
Definitely.
Vengeance too? Alright, let's do Vengeance.
Pumped up.
Hey, there's a key.
What'd you say?
I said, hey, there's a key.
Oh, I thought you said, hey, AIDS key. I thought...
No, you're just like obsessed with AIDS right now.
At least I don't have it. I don't know.
I mean, hey, no, you do you know.
That was a bit sexual how Zagreus just said, like that?
I mean, maybe? Was it?
Yeah. I mean, also per the fact that he's a Greek god.
That's true. Just about everything we do is like mildly sexual.
Mildly.
Well, alright, fine.
A lot of them are half naked and shit. All the time.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I mean, Aphrodite's like always naked.
Yeah? I mean, that's definitely... I don't know that they're not all always naked. That's definitely an Aphrodite thing. Not that a lot of them aren't half naked, though. That's true. Whoop. Mildly. I know. I took it back extremely. The goddess of love wants to bang Gilgamesh, but he says no because she sleeps around and gives the guys an STD that makes their dick not work. So she swears vengeance and sends Enkidu to kill him. Huh. Alright, I guess that's an important part of the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Thank you, Ulysses, for setting Sage straight. Let's see. I don't know, man. Let's see.
Oh, good.
You're just gonna be heading. You're gonna be heading straight into the Hydra here.
Yeah, not a lot of health to do with either. Literally sets the whole plot in motion. That's literally like the kickoff of that story.
That's not good. Not yet.
However, that Scarecrow episode ended kind of stupidly because, I mean, he's been in control of the whole episode. He was owning it, and then, you know, the Titans, they come together and they find where his base. He's hiding in Mr. Freeze's old hideout, so.
Is Mr. Freeze a Norwegian supermodel in this one?
I wish. But, no, I think they said he's still, I think he killed Barbara Gordon's dad in this, so. Still.
Oh, damn.
Well, this works out well since I have to leave for work in 5 minutes, but.
Yeah, alright, well, shit. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the day then.
Yeah.
For Hades anyway.
I'll just finish by saying that then Scarecrow, they get there, totally. Beat these guys, they're about, I mean, Scarecrow's right there, it's a good moment because Scarecrow is like, oh fuck, all my plans are going down the, you know, and then he escapes and like Red Hood is driving him away in a getaway car, but it's like they have they have Superboy with them, who has superhuman speed. Yeah. Why don't they arrest Scarecrow at the end of this? They don't capture him, they just let him get away. Like they don't, like the next scene is them partying and drinking and being like, hey man, we did it. We did quite an accomplishment.
They did.
It's like you didn't catch the main villain. That would have been so much, that would have been like tidying up the room at that point, but they didn't. So,
yeah, what the fuck?
Anyways, I thought that was a dumb ending, but
all right, well that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. All right, well I think that's gonna call it though. Yeah. We end on that stupid Titans note.
Yeah, right. There will be more stupid Titans notes.
Oh, I'm sure every week you'll have, at least as long as the season's running, you'll have some ridiculous shit to tell me about it. I hope Scarecrow smokes more pot next week.
I hope so. Now that he's losing, he might have to fall back on the habit a little more.
On that old marijuana habit.
Yeah.
But check out at Rated M for Immaturity on, at RM for Immaturity on Twitter. Find out when we're going live because, as I think most people already know, Twitch's notification system sucks. Rated M for Immaturity on YouTube. Backlog of all the content that we've produced. And there is a Rated M for Immaturity Discord server, but like there's not much on it, so if you're interested, check it out. But we will be back at about 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Deathloop.
Well, it was good hanging, Sid.
Hell yeah, dude. And Michael, you'll be back next week.
Yep, yes it will.
Awesome. Well, we'll see y'all later.